tapta jivanam kavivirilitam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinantiye bhurida janaha. There's a very interesting conversation was going on, and Sri Ramakrishna was explaining the condition of different type of minds, and he said that the main cause of suffering is greed, and according to that there are different type of jivas, the human being, but their stages are different. So he gave the name like Baddha Jiva. Baddha means he's actually bound souls. Bound in what? Bound in this worldliness. And what is this worldliness? Again and again rotating in the circle of birth and death. And from our experience we can understand this is very painful. Though sometimes we enjoy, but most of the time we suffer. But we cannot understand how to get rid of this suffering. So the brilliant minds, the rishis, the sages, the avatars, they have discovered this, and they say that because of your greed to enjoy this worldly life, you are bound. So shall we not enjoy the worldly life? Then as because we are born, as because we have some responsibilities, as because we have some mind, thinking, what to do? All cannot become sannyasins, all cannot, even after becoming sannyasins, there are many who are thinking about the samsara. It is the mind only. Is not the clothings or the environment or the other things. So he is suggesting the true religion. Why human beings should practice religion? Because to go beyond this circle. And this is called bound souls, and we have discussed about these bound souls. Very, very worldly type of people. They only know about themselves. They only think about themselves. They only want to get the attention. So like these are all bound souls. And sometimes we go to different places for some functions. If there is any so-called known people, or maybe a political personality, to get a picture with him or her, there will be people will be coming, rushing and somehow pushing. So that way they show that they are so eager to get a picture with that person. What after that? So this is, they always show like that. Anything there's something is going on, they like to be the first, depriving the others, not caring about others, not thinking about others. Why? Because the desire. Desire for what? To be someone. Someone in what sense? So these is the questions that we have to ask again and again, and today we will read. That is why this is the book of knowledge, and this teaches us the life, how to live a happy life. So there it is Panchama Veda. I called it, named it as Panchama Veda, because it gives us the knowledge, and Veda means knowledge. Then there are another type of people are there who are free souls. And these free souls, of course, they are not bound by this desire. Why they come then? Just to teach us. As an example, they will be living. They will be there in front of us, they are living so that we can learn, so that we can at least imagine that this is a way one person can live. They are giving the example only, but they are not bound. and that type of people are also here in this world. It's called Mukta Jiva, or the free souls. And again there are Nitya Siddhya. Nitya Siddhya, ever perfect. The free souls, but this is are all ever perfect. This Mukta Jiva, they under their own, they have controlled their senses, and they have withdrawn their senses, and they have realized the truth, and they are free. So they are living as an example before us that they were also like this condition, and somehow just with their strong willpower they have reached to that point. So all the great souls that we see, we can learn from them. Saint Francis of Assisi is a beautiful life. If we read his biography, he is a Christian saint, and how he is living, how he is controlling his passions, his mind. It's an excellent way. So that's called Mukta Jiva. They get freedom from the bondage. And there is another Nitya Siddha, ever perfect. They are not bound at all. And they are avatars like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these, Swami Vivekananda, they are Nitya Siddha. But whole life that they live only to show the human being and nothing else. When we see that this is possible in one man's life, and we get inspiration, it is possible for me too. So they are Nitya Siddhya. And other is Sadhana Siddhya, Kripa Siddhya. They are perfect souls. Sadhana Siddhya and Kripa Siddhya. So Mumukshu, that is what we are. That Mumukshuta, we are also trying to realize the truth. A group of devotees came today, and we were discussing. Nowadays, many people are coming even in the weekdays also. And they sat and they were discussing, and they were telling that what is good, ritual or meditation? I told both are necessary. Rituals are also necessary, and at the same time meditation. But for both, one thing is common, discrimination, which Swami Ramakrishna is speaking about again and again. Discriminate, discriminate, discriminate. This discrimination means you have to understand what you are doing, why you are doing. What you are doing, why you are doing. Now I am serving food. I know I am serving food, but I don't know why I am serving food. That is the question that we will be going this weekend for a retreat, and we will be discussing. The Swami will be coming tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and he will be discussing on karma yoga. And what is the karma, the action that we are doing? And that is, Sri Ramakrishna is telling that you must discriminate, and then only you will get the grace of God, blessings of God, and you will get peace. People come here again and again. I don't know anything, but people are coming. Why? From far away places they are coming. Why? Tormenting. They are successful people, very excellent in education. They are successful in their material life, but something they are not getting, that is called peace. And they are coming and opening up their mind, they want peace. How to get peace? The discrimination. The discrimination is vichara. This is very essential. After achieving all those things, if I cannot sleep happily, if I don't have any friends nearby, if I don't have anyone with whom I can talk, and when I am sitting alone, my mind is at peace, then what is the use of this life? Constantly struggling and suffering, and somehow engaged and spending time Is that the life for? So this is the question we have to ask. I have done my duty. That is the answer. Whatever duty was given to me, in whatever position I was, I have perfectly performed. As a child, I have done my duty to my parents. As a husband or a wife, I have done my duties. As some responsible person, some society, I have done my duties. As a father, I have done my duties. Like that, you have to take the stock, and then it will come in conclusion, whatever has happened in between, that is, I am not affected by that, because I have performed my duty perfectly as per my capacity. All are not perfect, but according to the capacity I have done. So that is that, there comes the satisfaction, the santosha. And the moment the santosha will come, there is no, in the mind there will be no doubt at all. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling that you have to love God. And we read the last time that Baddha Jiva, Mukta Jiva, then Nitya Jiva and Kripa Siddhya, Sadhan Siddhya, all the stages of different type of minds, and there comes Mumukshuta, Mumukshu Jiva, who are striving to receive that. A professor in the class and the student in the class. The professor is already Siddhya, is perfected, and he is not going to sit for any examination. So there is no fear for him. But the student is learning a mumukshu. But in the life of mumukshuta, there is lot of hurdles, examinations. And we have to cross that, we have to pass that. How we can do that? Then Sri Ramakrishna said, Sadhu Sangha, again and again, Nirjan Vas. Whenever you get an opportunity, go alone somewhere and then note down, study your mind, Nirjan Vas, and develop love and attachment for God. And the love, again, there are three different types. It says Sadharani, means general, Sadharani, love for only personal benefit. I love because for my personal benefit I am doing that. Showing my love, showing my respect, doing everything, all my thinking circle round for my personal benefit. So that type of love is nothing but selfish love. Then samanjasa. There are many people who will be taking the orphan boys and girls, and they will help them to grow so that they can earn some money. Not, of course, not giving them much of education and all that, but they feed them, they give them shelter, so that when they grow up, they will go out and earn money for them. They are showing the love. That orphan boy, when he will grow up, he will say, at least this man took care, so I am leaving. There is a love, but love for purely selfish motive, that is called sadharani love. Then samanjasa. Well, I love myself, at the same time I like to help others also. So the both are there. Usually we have the same. Majority of the people are having sadharani love. The samanjasa love. This samanjasa means love for myself, and at the same time I am taking care and loving others because I love them too. But my selfish attitude is still there. This is samanjasa. And then comes the final, the highest love, it is called samartha. This samartha love's highest love, only caring for others. That is called samartha. What is this karma yoga actually? Swami Vivekananda is telling, through unselfish work. We have to remember those words. Through unselfish work, one can reach to the same goal where Buddha reached by his knowledge, Christ by his prayer. Through the path of knowledge, through the path of love, devotion, this Christ and the Bhagavan Buddha, the rest, there one person just by helping, working for others can also go over there, reach over there, get that position. But through unselfish work. Unselfish work means samartha. This is very, very important. One Swamiji was there, Banbihari Baba. This Banbihari Baba, he used to take care of the patients in our hospital, Ramakrishna Mission Hospital in Kashi, Benares. And his work was to go and see the sick people, not just simply giving medicine, but by caring their wounds. And you know, in that time and now also, these people are not very careful, the villagers, when they come. Sometimes from their body the bad smell is coming up, and so much so the doctors refuse to go. But Banbihari Baba used to go and used to clean that wound and giving them the bandage, talking with them so nicely so that they won't feel pain while this medicine he is applying. And that way he continued. Why? Because his guru said, go and serve the living Shiva. The living Shiva. They're all, you go to the temple to see the Shiva in Benares, here the living Shiva. Then Banbihari Baba, people started thinking and respecting him as a living Shiva himself. When the others, youngsters, they used to go and talk to him, the Swamiji, how can you go inside? It's so bad smell. And they used to close their nose and covering the face, they used to go there. But he said, but I don't get any bad smell because they are my gods, they have come, they are full with beautiful fragrance. God cannot smell bad. Think of it. And that is called samartha love. We cannot think of. I visited that hospital, they took me, I told, oh my God, it's not my job. I won't be able to do it. But he did it, the karma yogi. So through karma, one can reach to the same goal. And when he was very old, he used to inquire about how many the patients have come. Then one young brahmachari was in that job, he told, today 3 patients have been admitted. He said, again asked, what you say? 3 patients, Swamiji. Then again he asked. He thought that he is not hearing it properly, so he shouted, 3 patients, like that. Then he started crying. Look at this boy, he sees the patients, he can't see the gods. Then the others, when he was crying, then others told Swamiji, he is very new. He has come here, joined here, very new, is a novice, slowly he will learn. So he is telling like that. You are not supposed to tell them as patients, my gods. Can you imagine? Can anyone think in this way? There are millions of doctors. How many of them will think in this way? When some person is coming and you are treating at the same time in the feeling is my God? No, we cannot think. And result, we are bound. Result, we are suffering. Result, we are criticizing others and telling, see, these people are not helping. God is not helping. God is already helping. Only thing we do not understand, the secret of work. Whatever you do, that Banbihari Baba, what he did, only nursing. Millions are doing it regularly, every time. So what is the difference? Attitude. So that attitude is the secret of karma yoga, and that attitude comes only through love, and that too the highest love. without caring what I am going to get. That is called samartha. Now, Sri Ramakrishna, the conversation turned to the spiritual zeal of devotees. As illustrated in the earnestness of the gopis of Vrindavan, Ramlal, that he used to take care of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was related also. He was a very good singer. He started singing. Thou art my all in all, O Lord, the life of my life, the essence of essence. In the three worlds, I have none else but thee to call my all. To call my own is only one, that is God. The most of the people, of course, that is general questions. The Swamiji, how you live all alone? And who said alone? Father, mother, we all family we are living. Where is the family? They are sitting over here. Every day you have to feed them, you have to take care of them and clean them, nurse them, everything you have to do as we do to the fathers. They will be sitting. So we come and talk to them, and that is the prayer. When you talk to them, there is a prayer. So that is the feeling that God is there, always with me. Who said I am alone? It is a wonderful way of fulfilling the heart. No loneliness. Always you are with someone, and that is your God. No loneliness. In the modern life, that is the punishment, loneliness. But if a person can turn that mind that I am always with someone, talking with him, caring for him, and anything very good, immediately collecting to give a gift to that person, because my only beloved is that, my God. And it says that thou art my all in all. And Sri Ramakrishna, what a beautiful song, thou art my all in all. See, if one can think in that way, then only the all misery vanishes. Why the misery? We cannot think in that way. So obviously, whenever we are thinking, today I was reading in a newspaper, an excellent son. He is here in America somewhere. So I was thinking that if they could give that address, I could go and meet and at least congratulate him, because he is the example of worldliness. What he did, that fellow is here. He has completed, as per the report, I don't know. As per the report, he has completed his education, everything, and father went on giving the money, giving the money, giving the money. Then he afterwards settled over here, he started earning, but still he went on pressurizing the father, give me money, I like to start a business. Then ultimately the father denied, no, we have only this building, where you are going to live. But he was going on constantly pressurizing. The old man somehow could not died. And when the father died, this fellow went to there to attend to the final rites, and then afterwards told his mother, what you are going to do alone over here, come along with me. Mother was not willing, but the other relatives told, it's good that you go, you will be with your son, what you are going to do alone over here in India? So ultimately she agreed. Then that boy took all the property, sold it, including the building, took all the jewelries, money in his own hand, purchased a passport and visa was made. He took the mother to the airport and he said, please be here and I am going to bring some food for you. And he never came back. And the mother, not knowing anything, she was sitting over there while through the international airport, he left for America, and the mother was sitting over there in the domestic airport. Mother never knew actually the son, her own son. So naturally believing the own son. sitting over there waiting. Then she started crying. Then the local people, they came, inquired, the officers, they inquired, police was informed, police took her. Then there are some groups of people are there who are taking for the special care for the elderly people. Then it was flashed in the newspaper, but they could not get any information about her son. See the mother's love. She told, anyway, he is my son. If I complain to police, then the police will arrest him, harass him, but he is my son. Good or bad, my son. And ultimately I am going to die today or tomorrow. Let me die in this way. Let him get all this. He was supposed to get maybe after a few days. Now he has taken away little. See the mother's heart. The love for the child, love for the son. And look at this son. And he is called, that is Sri Ramakrishna told, they are samsari. The samsara means this. Only think about himself, not even about the mother and father. And he has forgotten that he is going to die someday. Here the master, oh what? And then the master is telling, Ramlal sang again, hold not the chariot's wheel. And when the Akrur went to take the Krishna from Vrindavan to other place, Mathura I think, and then all these gopis, they came and they were holding the wheel of the chariot. Then the Akrur was telling them, why you are holding the chariot's wheel? Do you think it moves out of his own? It is the Krishna who is sitting over here because of his will. So that way, that means you have to understand these are the things happen. And here again the master is telling, thou master went into deep samadhi. His body was motionless. He sat with folded hands as in his photograph. Tears of joy flowed from the corners of his eyes. After a long time, his mind came down to the ordinary plane of consciousness, and he was saying, thou art I, and I am thou. That devotion he is talking about. Then he said, O Krishna, the friend of the lowly, O eternal concert of my soul, O Govinda. As he uttered the words, eternal concert of my soul, Govinda, he went again into samadhi. There was complete silence in the room. The eager and unsatisfied eyes of the devotees were fixed on the master, a God-man of infinite moods. Now he was talking in this way, and suddenly he is in that. Then one person came, his name was Adharshen. He came with several of his friends. He was a deputy magistrate, about 30 years old. And then he was telling, he was accompanied by his friend Sarada Charan, who was extremely unhappy because of the death of his son, a retired deputy inspector of schools, Sarada Charan. And his mind was afflicted state of mind. Coming down from the samadhi, master found the eyes of devotees fixed on him. Now the master Mahasaya noting that one devotee is coming. He was the deputy magistrate in those days at the time of the Britishers. Those elderly Indians can understand, to become a magistrate and deputy magistrate at the time of the British regime, that means what a efficiency was necessary. So he became that deputy magistrate. He was very good person. He became the devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. He used to come, and today he has come with his friend who lost his son. So he wanted to get some words from Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was talking immediately with high spiritual values. Sri Ramakrishna says, the spiritual wisdom of worldly people is seen only on rare occasions. He was still thinking on that, and then he is coming out, and he has come down from the samadhi, and he is not looking what is happening around. He is telling to the people, but in a very high state of mind. It is like the flame of a candle. No, it is rather like a single ray of the sun passing through a chink in a wall. Worldly people chant the name of God, but there is no zeal behind it. So that very clearly he is mentioning. Thousands of people in one place, there will be but there is no zeal. Why they are chanting? What they are chanting? What is the meaning of it? After chanting, what I am going to get? No, nothing is there. So this is very important. To learn spirituality, we must be careful and constantly thinking what we are doing, why we are doing. Man reaps a harvest of his own past actions, and he started singing, explaining his view. O Mother, I have no one else to blame. Alas, I sink in the well these very hands have dug. I myself have created this, and I am suffering. I and mine, that is ignorance. Now he is giving, Sri Ramakrishna, just he was talking about the devotion of the gopis, and he went into samadhi. Suddenly, now he is changing to pure Advaitin, and he said, I and mine. That is ignorance. By discriminating, you will realize that what you call I is really nothing but Atman. Reason it out. Are you the body or the flesh or something else? At the end, you will know that you are none of these. You are free from attributes. Attributes means the name and the other degrees and all these. So that's called attributes. Then you will realize that you have never been the doer of any action, that you have been free from virtue and faults alike, that you are beyond righteousness and unrighteousness. Think of the Advaita that he was speaking. The moment we are discriminating, then we can understand what I am talking about. Who am I? All these things that you are imposing on me, it will all pass away. When the Prime Minister of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, he came to Andaman, and he came to inaugurate two of our buildings. And naturally the people, the supporters of that political group, they were shouting, Atal ji Jindabad, Atal ji Amar Rahe. And the Atal Amar Rahe means let him be permanent, like that. Then Atal ji asked them like this, and he went near the microphone and said, this Atal ji will die someday. This Atal ji may not be Prime Minister next day, but give the joy to Swami ji, Swami Vivekananda. Swami ji, he is eternal. See the discrimination. He was not, people are shouting for his favor, but in his favor, but he was thinking in a right direction. Discrimination then and there, and he told, I am a very ordinary person. By the grace of God, only today I am Prime Minister of India. But I may not be tomorrow. But this Swamiji will remain. Swamiji is just like the sun. This is the discrimination. God is there every time. And if I discriminate, then I am not touched by anything. The physical ailments and all other things, there is only temporary. And it is only going away. So that he was telling, that I just remembered that as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is teaching us, if you discriminate, then you will see that it is only we think that we are suffering, otherwise there is nothing. Constantly, if I can realize that I am not these bones, I am not this flesh, I am not the name that I have got to this body, I am something which is beyond this. I am not touched by anything. Wonderful joy will come. So that it says, and he says, reasoning stops when one sees God. But there are instances of people who have realized God and who still continue to reason. Even after that, they are reasoning because to keep their mind alert. Again, there are people who, even after having seen God, chant His name with devotion and sing His glories. How long does a child cry? Then immediately, as the speciality, he is giving the example. How long does a child cry? So long as it is not sucking at his mother's breast. As soon as it is nursed, it stops crying. Then the child feels only joy, and joyously it drinks the milk. But it is also true that while drinking, child sometimes plays and loves. So how he is giving the example is just now the child is in the good care of the mother, and the child is in great joy, but still sometimes he will play, sometimes smile. So like that, it is God alone who has become everything. But in man, he is manifest himself the most. The man has created out of God's own image. Even in the Bible it says. So that is the highest regard. And Shankaracharya, he said against, and I went to the Providence and I was giving the retreat on Viveka Chudamani, and the very second sloka of the Vivek Chudamani is this: Jantunam Narajanma Durlabha Mata. The Narajanma, the human birth, is very, very rare. Jantunam, the souls, the lives, and they are getting this Narajanma, human birth, is really very special. And Sri Ramakrishna is telling, it is God alone who has become everything, but in man, he manifests himself the most. In man. Why? It can discriminate. It can direct his mind on the higher things. No animal will look at the sky, it is only the human being, and they appreciate the nature. They can imagine, they can visualize more higher things than they are. So that is the capacity that the God has given to the human being. He manifests himself the most. God is directly present in the man who has the pure heart of a child and who loves and cries and dances and sings in divine ecstasy. So this is the glory of the human life. And then if we lose it, then it is a great loss. That he is reminding us that we must remember it is the human birth is very precious. God is present within us and we are nothing but gods. Only thing we have to remember it, and remember it every moment, and particularly at the time of death. Now, this time Sri Ramakrishna had become better acquainted with other, and who related the case of his friend's grief. The moment he was telling about this, my friend has lost his son, immediately Sri Ramakrishna sang a beautiful song, and it is describing in this way: to arms, O man, death storms your house in battle array. Bearing the quiver of knowledge, mount the chariot of devotion, Bend the bow of your tongue with the bowstring of love, and aim at him the shaft of Mother Kali's holy name. Here is the rush of the fairy. You need no chariot or charioteer. Fight your foe from the Ganges bank. He is easily slain. When the death is coming, then standing on a holy place, taking the name of God, if you are accepting the death, then you can defeat the death. That is a very special. Death actually enjoys when we are afraid of death. But when a human being has already conquered the mind, then the death is defeated. Then he said, what can you do? Be ready for death. Look at it. When the people, they think about it and they are afraid, they don't like to listen to it, but that is the truth. And this truth is one that nobody can avoid. What can you do? Be ready for death. Death has entered the house. You must fight him with the weapons of God's holy name. We can fight the death with the God's holy name. One lady, there is a famous story in the life of Bhagavan Buddha. The mother, she carried her dead child to Buddha, and she was crying and begging, you are a great soul. People say like that, please bring life back to in my son's body. I want him living. And Buddha immediately understood that it is impossible at this moment to pacify her, telling the truth. And in a wonderful way, he said, Mother, you go to these houses in the neighborhood, every house you go, and ask only one question. Has anybody in your family died? If not, then bring one, that little morsel, a little what's called the master seed, oil seed, and I will bring back the life to your son. She went and knocked the door of each and every house, but every house told her that someone has died in the presently or past. There was not a single house where there was no story of death. Then she understood, came back and told the Buddha, I have understood the truth, and she became afterwards a nun. And this is the truth. The death is going to come, and Sri Ramakrishna, he is asking us that you must fight him with the weapon of God's holy name. When we are going on repeating the name of God, and the body is going away, his body only going away, I am going to go to God. And we find in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is promising. And in the 8th chapter, he says, Antakale cha mameba smarana mukta kalevaram ya prayati sa madbhavam yati nastatra samshaya. There is no doubt. There should not be any doubt that that person is coming to me who at the time of death could remember me. Antakale, at the time of death, mameba smarana mukta kalevaram. Kalevaram is the body. When mukta, coming out of the body, that soul taking my name, prayati, passed away, so madbhavam yati, he gets my person, you can say, he goes to me, attain my state. And there is no doubt. Again he said, yam yam vapi smarana bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram. In this next sloka, in the 8th chapter, the 6th sloka, he said, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajatyante kalevaram tameva iti kaunteya. Sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Whatever object a person thinks, and at the time of death he gets that object. In the first sloka he said, if you pass away thinking about me, you are going to get me, achieve me, and you will come to me, the God. But at the second time he said, suppose you are not, whatever object you will be thinking, you will get that. In the Chandi, we find the two persons, they are worshipping goddess Durga. One is a king who lost his kingdom, another is a businessman who lost his business. They came in the jungle, and then they met a rishi, and then when they were asked to worship, perform Durga Puja, they did. Then after, when the mother came, divine mother, then the king, he prayed to the mother, I want to become a king. I must have a bigger kingdom. And he got that. But the businessman told, no, enough of those things. I want to go to you. So, yam yam bhabam, whatever object you are thinking, you are getting. And similarly, one who is giving away the body, thinking me, he will get me. So, this is the Gita Sri Krishna is promising. But can one think of God at the time of death? That is the $1,000,000 question. Why? Because constantly we are thinking something else. How at that time we can expect the thought of God will come to us? And that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you must prepare yourself. The weapon is the Lord's name. Prepare yourself with the weapon of Lord's name, so that when the God is coming in the form of death, you can defeat that God without fear, because you know, I am repeating the name of God and nothing wrong, bad is going to happen to me. Body may suffer, it doesn't matter, but my mind always enjoy. That one Swami, he was the president after, he was a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, and he became the president of the Ramakrishna order, Swami Shivananda, and he had asthma trouble. It was so difficult to take the breathing, Even in the morning also, when you got up from the bed, you used to hold a pillow and somehow used to sit. When the Swamis and the Brahmacharis, they used to go to pay respect to the president, to the Honorable Swamiji, and many of them they used to ask, Swamiji, how are you? His answer always, the body is suffering, but I am happy. Can you imagine? That is mukta. He is not getting the suffering at all. When the suffering is suffering, when mind is attached with the suffering. When the mind is not attached with the suffering, then who can give me the suffering? So that's why Sri Ramakrishna is teaching us, give your power of attorney to God. One doesn't come to grief through letting a good man assume one's responsibilities. Let his will be done. I give everything to you, my God. Now it is your responsibility to keep me either in suffering or in joy, whatever way you like, I am ready to enjoy. God is engaged in three kinds of activities. Sri Ramakrishna is explaining: creation, preservation, and destruction. So then what remains? Is everything God is doing. Creation, He created, and He is preserving, nursing, and at the same time He Himself is destroying. So this Sri Ramakrishna, a great mystic, he saw this while he was meditating under the banyan tree at the bank of the Ganga at Dakshineshwar, He saw the one beautiful lady. She came out from the Ganges and she became pregnant. She gave birth of a child and she was nursing. Then suddenly she took a terrible form and took away the child within herself and vanished. So creation, preservation and destruction. If you can understand this, why we are afraid? Oh, I created this building, why building? The whole universe is going to be destroyed someday. So obviously, you are free that particular time. I have enjoyed living. I had a nice house, I had a nice family, I had a nice car, I have visited all the places of all these things I have done in my life. At a time of death, okay, I am done, I am going. And where you are going? I am going to God, because all the time, all through, I was remembering Him. And He has promised in the Bhagavad Gita, when, if I can remember at the time of death, you will be taking care of me. I am sure I am going to take His name. So if that conviction is there, the love is there, complete faith is there, and as Sri Ramakrishna is telling, giving away all to that God, then even enjoying in this life, I can be at the God. So he is telling, God is engaged in three things. Death is inevitable. All will be destroyed at the time of dissolution. Nothing will remain. At that time, the Divine Mother will gather up the seeds for the future creation. For the future creation, she will all gather up the seeds. What are those seeds? Our past karmas. It's not going to be destroyed. So one is planning at the time of destruction in the Christianity and everywhere, there is a sense of this, the last day of this creation. So it's anything, something happening, and most of the time in medieval period, people were ignorant. Anything happening, some earthquake, and some people will come and they'll beat the drum. Oh, the last day has come, last day of judgment. So get ready, get ready. Then nothing happened. Only thing, he was only shouting, he broke the voice. So there's where is the last day? We do not know when the last day is going to come. But it is going to come someday, and don't bother about that. Because before the last day comes, we will be circling round many, many, many times because of our desire. And now we know the last day is going to come, either today or tomorrow or maybe millions and millions of years after. Doesn't matter. I am ready. That is a calculative man. Sa chaturi, chaturi. Some people are very intelligent. But it's all, what that intelligence? Only cheating others and getting some money? No. Sa chaturi, chaturi. That is the real sense of intelligence, that he knows, I don't have much time in my life, I must try to prepare. So he goes on taking the name of God everywhere, every moment, every time, and at the same time performing all his responsibilities, his duties perfectly. What happens? Good result, accumulating good results, and at the time of these, then the Mother God, Divine Mother, he picked that soul and put in a very nice place, and that is the feet of the Lord, or in the Atman, merges in the Atman. So that's why Sri Ramakrishna is telling to other, you are a deputy magistrate. Now Sri Ramakrishna is asking this man, you are a deputy magistrate, because in a very big post. Remember that you have obtained your position through the grace of God. So don't be feeling that ego, that I have done it, I have done it. There's some people, they write their letters, doctorate, so they will put the DR in capital. So you should not miss that I am a DR. So the doctor. And see, this is good, okay. But who gave you the intelligence, that intellect? God. And that one should be humble before God. Because of that only I have become this. He is telling, you are a deputy magistrate. Remember that you have obtained your position through the grace of God. Do not forget Him, but remember that all men must one day walk down the same path. We stay in the world only a couple of days. And afterwards, the writer giving the footnote, and Sri Ramakrishna told this other Sen all this, and after 18 months, he passed away. After 18 months, that means 1 year, 1.5 year, he passed away. So Sri Ramakrishna is making his mind ready because he used to love that person very much. And other Sen used to come and then opening up, the very summer time in a hot country, he used to open the gown and all those things, the government official dress, and used to sleep nicely on the floor of Sri Ramakrishna. Other people used to come and wonder why this man is sleeping over here. People come here to talk to you, to listen to you. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, no, don't disturb him, let him sleep quietly. He can't sleep. So much a problem in his mind. So let him sleep nicely. As a child sleeps on the lap of the mother, let him sleep. And slowly, Sri Ramakrishna was preparing the mind of the other Sen. And today we read, and the Master Maharshya gives the comment here, that do not forget Him. Him means the God, H capital. Do not forget Him. But remember that all men must go one day, walk down the same path of death. We stay in the world only a couple of days. This world is our field of activity. This world is our field of activity. We are born here to perform certain duties. People have their homes in the country but come to Calcutta to work, like that. Again, he is giving the example. People, they go to the downtown, they work over there, then rush back. If it is a Friday evening, my God, as fast as possible they will be driving. Why? They like to go to the home. And do not forget, our home is the abode of God. Mon chala nij niketane. We have to go back to our own abode, and it is necessary to do a certain amount of work. This is a kind of discipline, but one must finish it speedily. While melting gold, the goldsmith uses everything. So let us stop over here, and the next day again we will study the wonderful words of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. If only people had the patience to read and listen. And there is no barrier that only Hindus or the Muslims, the Christians, no barrier. It is beyond all the barrier. It is only the words of wisdom. Whoever will listen and try to practice even a little, they will get the benefit of it. And that benefit is nothing but, that benefit is fearlessness and eternal joy. And that is assured. Let us chant this pranam mantra and conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai ishabataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa namamaha. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.